We are designed to get through hard things. Today, we're talking about how challenges build our resilience on Set to Love. Welcome. Good morning.
You can live a life in flow where your deepest heart's desires become reality.
You are here to contribute through your essence, fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on.
Take what works, ditch the rest, and always stay set to love.
Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go.
Good morning, friend.
Good morning. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing really good. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. And look at me. I'm ready to go on my run. I couldn't go this morning. I wanted to go like before our show. That's when I've been going. But the twins went back to school. So I had to go drive them. I got to go drive them.
That's better.
So now I'm gonna go run after and get my holding myself accountable to exercising every day so I can get out of the slumpiness that I'm in.
That cracks me up. You designed a new word, slumpy.
I know, but isn't it perfect? I just feel like I talked about it last night in Toastmasters, and everyone was like, I get it. You don't even have to explain it. Slumpy. I feel what that means. And so I think about that when you're moving through life and a challenge comes our way, or sometimes more than one. For you right now, you've got several things that present themselves. Like when it rains, it pours. Like one thing comes in, you're like, oh
Yes.
my gosh. And then something else comes in. And don't you feel like sometimes if you don't even have time to process through the first thing, it just like builds and builds and builds. And it's like trying to find the good, trying to be at peace and have patience and like, no, okay, there's good in this and I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to get through it. Like you want to give yourself that pep talk, but sometimes it just sucks and it's hard.
Well, I mean, just so our viewers know, I have a good friend that passed away and he was only 57 and very sad. And then I have a family friend, but is like a mom. She's 82 and she's in the hospital and on a breathing machine and, in an induced coma, and just within the week, and all the things that go with the challenges, about even her life. I mean, more so than my friend, which was really sad, but the challenges that when someone that you don't know, and we still don't know if she's going to make it. She did have a good night, so that makes me hopeful, but the challenges that go with her life, her home, all of her things, what she would want. Like sometimes those challenges, you don't even know what somebody would want. And now I think of, wow, we have some homework to do when she comes home, to be better prepared. Like I'm the person who will sign to have to make decisions for her. We already have that in place. But as far as everything else, her daughter's in New Zealand. And that's a long way away. And I don't know. I'm just saying, I think these challenges, one of the biggest things is I feel like when you have a challenge with somebody that's ill or iffy about how their things are going to go, is don't project what is. Kind of wait for things to happen. And instead of like, for me, I didn't panic. And my mom's like, oh, should we call her daughter? I said, Mom, we're not doing anything. We're going to wait till we have information. We are not going to just react. We're going to take a breath. We're going to breathe. We're going to take all this in and see how the night goes. And of course, we did have to call her daughter, but I just think sometimes it's so much more havoc when you just react instead of take a step back, take a breath, really take in what's happening, and don't put fake stories in your head.
So when you got all this news, okay, so let me ask you this. You have like the bad news comes in, whatever that is, like anything that kind of disrupts the flow of your day. So what's the first thing you do? Like when that word comes in or that thing comes in, I mean, initially I would think that you would just want to go to crazy town. Like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Like, I would think that would be like the initial reaction, but were you just calm right away? Like, have you trained yourself?
Because of because of our friendship and because of everything that we've gone through over the last year and just
Mhm.
life, originally, right when it happens, you take it in and you feel it in your whole body and you want to cry and react, which is
Mhm.
normal.
Mhm.
But after that, it's like I took a deep breath and I thought, okay, somebody has to stay calm in this. This has
Yep.
been my mom's friend for like, I don't know, over 60 years.
Mm.
They've worked together, they've lived together. I mean, they have a whole lifetime of history together. My sister is the one who really looks after her and helps take care of her. They live in the same building. So I knew I had to stay strong and not react
Mhm.
in the norm, meaning like panic. But I have to say, these challenges, when you are even holding it in and you stay calm,
Mhm.
I still was working. And I have to say, you have to just face the fact that when something challenging happens, my body took over. Like I really wasn't okay.
Mhm.
I kind of went through the motions, but in my head, I feel like I didn't offer 100% to my clients in the sense I faked it really good. But
Mhm.
inside, my mind was so many different places and I wasn't completely present with what I'm doing. So I do feel like sometimes without your wanting to or even having a positive attitude, your body kind of takes over to say, oh my gosh.
Right. I'm going through this right now.
Yeah.
Do you
So
feel like now that it's been, I mean, with Barry, losing him earlier and now with this situation, do you find that it just takes time? So like just even giving yourself the grace to say, okay, right now I'm totally faking it, or I'm in this crazy town place, or I know my mind's racing and I'm feeling this in my body, but tomorrow or in a week I'll feel better. So I can just be in this space and just accept it. Just accept it for what it is without trying to like maneuver it or have it transform it into anything or have it be anything else. Have you felt like with each day it's gotten just a little bit lighter and feels a little better? Or do
no.
you think no? Oh.
No, and the
Just
reason
say
being
yes.
is let's just take Barry for instance.
Come
I
on,
don't
give me
feel
some
better
hope.
because I mean, I do believe that, resilience part of being it is, no, knowledge is power and that gives you the resilience to
Mhm.
keep going and do the right thing. In
Bounce
that way,
back.
yes. But in the other ways, I think, you know, uh, life just kind of goes on. Someone passes and then life kind of goes on and that person is just not forgotten. I'm sure not by their families, obviously, but even friends like me. And I kind of reflected back on all the wonderful things that he did as a friend to always be there to support me as a single mom and, brought my Christmas tree in from, wherever would find it, he would come. And I guess my thing is too, is I have a little bit of like feeling, I don't know what the word is. It's almost like even with Surely, I feel like there's so many things that some of this stuff wasn't necessary. Like we don't even have to be here. And look, we're
Mm.
here. So I think a little bit of it is frustration of we don't have control over other people's choices and with their health care and how they take care of themselves. So I find myself feeling like that,
Mad
well,
and
like a
frustrated.
sad or frustrated or whatever it is. And it also makes me feel like I need to stay really present with my life choices because
Mm.
my health, everything that I do is going to affect my daughters and my granddaughter and
Mhm.
my husband. And so I guess that's the resilient part. It just makes you feel like, okay, this is going to make me feel what I can do in my own life. So I
Right,
learn by
right.
these things because I can't change that Barry's gone. I
Mhm.
can't change that, God love her, but that Shirley smoked for all these years. And that's part of why she can't breathe well.
Mhm.
All I can do is love her through it and accept what I can't change. I don't know how else to. She's such an amazing woman and this was just, I mean, that's not the only reason. She's 82. So
Yeah.
you have health issues at 82.
Right, right. And you can't control other people's choices, and we're all on our own journey. And I just keep telling myself that, like, we're all on our own journey. We're all on our own journey, and just letting people be where they're at on their journey and loving them where they're at. And
Exactly.
you
No
can be
judgment.
like sad and that buried in and take better care of himself with the diabetes and the issues and the stuff. And that's why he ended up maybe leaving sooner than most people would have liked. And same with Shirley. Like, you can't, but I mean, man, those little addictions too, whether it's sugar, whether it's smoking, whether it's alcohol, whether it's whatever, it's like those things can, grab a hold of us. And it's like, if we can't get through whatever those addictions are, if we can't get through taking care of ourselves and making time for ourselves, then you're right. Like, you become a burden to your own life and your own dreams. And, you don't get to be around to experience, but then it does kind of ripple into the lives of other people as well, which is sad. That is sad that, that the people who love them most now aren't going to get to be around them or have to struggle through, like, being at the hospital all day or doing whatever, but
what would your definition of, even if you look on things in your life about challenges, how has it built your resilience?
I think every time I've gone through something really hard and I've made it out the other end, I go, I can do hard things. I can do hard things. I can get through something challenging. So no matter what, I think about, like, I just painted this sunset, and it's like this desert sunset.
I saw that. That's so pretty.
Thanks. And it's just like, there's beauty even in the desert. There's beauty even in, like, the desolate, dry, hard times. So I just try to always have that be my focus. Like, okay, this was my path. This was my plan. This was where I was going. And now I've diverted. Like, now I'm going to be over here. So I can complain about it and I can just, like, be woe is me. Or I can say, okay, there's something for me to learn. There's something for me to grow. There's an experience to be had here. And I might as well make the best of it, because what other choice do I have? I can either complain or I can find the good. And it's my perspective. And so I try really hard. Like, I'll sit with the sadness, I'll sit with the pain, I'll sit with the frustration, I'll call my sister, I'll call you, just to, like, get it out of my body a little bit. I'll go on a run, I'll go on a walk, I'll do something just to kind of be with it and process a little bit. But then I just am there, and I let myself. So for me, I feel like time definitely is a healer, but also just where I put my attention and focus. So, if I had to be home today and couldn't do the things that I wanted to do, I'd think, okay, well, what can I do here? What can I be productive about? What can I feel good about myself in doing? And so I think that's all you can do, is how can you show up for Shirley? How can you love her without it totally ruining, your whole schedule and your whole day and your whole frame of mind? And so when you get through that challenge and now you're on the other side, like going through the Grand Canyon, the hiking part is hard, but once you come out the other end, you can look back and go, dang, okay, I made it through that. And if I can make it through that, then whatever else comes my way, I can make it through. Now, there's things like big challenges, like I haven't experienced the death of, say, a child or a spouse or someone like a best friend or a sibling or someone like, my dad's, but I'm also far enough removed away from my parents at this point that it doesn't feel like someone I see every single day, someone who's like super, super close to me. So I don't know how I would be in the face of that kind of a challenge. And I would just draw on my strength that I've had in other challenges of my life. So I can't say how I would be in that moment, because I don't think you ever
can. You just don't know. And that's why I say sometimes, yes, time does heal your heart, but it never really goes away. It's like you learn how to deal with, especially somebody that you've been close with, you learn how to deal with what it feels like to not have them, because it's when it's someone close to you, it's almost like taking your right arm. Like, it just doesn't ever go away. It just gets easier, as time. But I think of the challenges in my life, and I think, we're so strong. We can get through anything. Attitude is everything.
Yes.
And I really do believe that challenges build character, because how you want to handle things, it can be chaotic. People can be fighting, or you can work together as a team and be in that state of love and acceptance of what you can't change. So I definitely think you're right when you're saying, don't let it affect things to where it's going to make your life crumble. You have to still stay focused on what you need to get done. But
Yep.
at the same time, you can, be there when you can be there, and don't try to be something you're not.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Giving
Right?
yourself that grace. Yep.
Yeah.
I love it. Best friend, great conversation.
Yay.
I hope something
Yes.
today helps somebody out there as you're trying to get through a challenge in your life, and just know there is good and there is beauty in it. And you are
Yeah.
building that resilience like a muscle. So when the next challenging thing comes, you're going to be like, I got through that. I can get through the next thing. And I think each of those experiences builds upon the next. And that's how we get through life more gracefully.
Well, I think that was very well said. And
I love you.
for those of us who have kids, that's the last part I want to say is they're watching you. Our kids watch us and they learn, because they don't always learn by what we say. They learn by what we do. So if you're having challenges and how you handle conflict, it's so important for our little people to see you handle it with grace and love, and it builds resilience. So
love
everybody have
you.
a great day.
Thanks, best friend. And
Hit the bell.